So I've sent 3,000 cold DMs in outreach for my business. I tried every tactic, every variation, every style, and every opening line possible, and in this video I'll tell you what worked best for me. Sweet and simple. Sure, in this video I am talking about DMs, but you can expand the general idea to every possible way of reaching out to someone, whether that's calls, knocking, emails, DMs, all of it works. There are just some little tips that I'll be slipping in here that are a bit specific more to cold DMs. The master key that I found in this process is that you have to be a bit clear about the trade-off that you're willing to make when you're reaching out, because you have two spectrums to this. Either you're leaning really into the whole quantity thing, i.e. how many you can actually push out, or you're leaning more towards the personalization route. For the first one, yes, you are sending out a ton of messages, but they're really impersonal. They're just basically a template that is used. They are not really particular to the person that you're reaching out to, and it doesn't exactly offer them much value. For the second one, you're doing a fair bit of pre-work on them. You're seeing what they like, what they don't like, what they need, what they don't need, and seeing how you can tailor your message to fit all of that, and how you can possibly help them the most just from the first opening message. Those are generally the two routes that you can take, but since the algorithm pointed you right here, I'm guessing you're running a one-man business or just a very small team, and in that case, I'd recommend the personalization route. Plus, that's also what worked best for myself. I mean, it's also better for me to just tell you that instead of having you waste just a ton of time when you didn't really have to. Because the problem with the first one is that unless you're a very recognizable figure in that particular space or people already know you, then they won't be particularly inclined to answer your message when they find it in their DMs. It will just get lost with all the other sea of impersonal posts that they're getting. Going the personal route means that you can separate yourself from that entire ocean by a fairly big margin and just put yourself ahead of the pack. That means personalizing the opening line, for example, going on their profile and see what posts they commented on, what posts they liked, bookmarked, and then using that as source of inspiration to create your opening line to them. So say someone really likes a particular sports team or a hobby, maybe a certain book that they read a lot. You can just watch a recap or a summary of that book and say what character you liked most and why, and start a connection based off of that thing. There are infinite variations of this sort of thing because people like an almost infinite number of things. Also, when you're doing it, just be relaxed, just be casual. Don't make it like you're showing up to a court appointment, and don't make it like you're just focused on trying to convert them. Just have a conversation. And please don't use ChatGPT for this. Say what you like about their work, say how your services can help that work, and why you could be of benefit to them. But it has to be in an experiential, human way that people actually care about. So whether that's saving them more money, making them more money, saving them time, just taking more off of their plate, less stress, less mental burden, that sort of thing. Get them better results, get them quicker results. Whatever you say and tie it back to your services has to be one of those things that I just mentioned. And even better if you have testimonials from other people where you did get that result and you just show them that. Don't worry if you're blanking when you're trying to do this for the first few times. Anytime you're trying to think of new ways and new skills that you're trying to develop, it will naturally just get better over time, but initially it will suck very heavily. More repetitions just help us overcome that obstacle. Regardless of what you're providing is a product/service that is based on some performance metric that they're measuring and they're paying you off of that, or whether it's just the fixed standardized product/service that you're offering, kind of like the videos that I edit for clients, the more risk that you can take off of the table for them, the more willing they will be to pay you. It's pretty much the reason why we start off at the beginning with free, because there is no risk to them and they just get work. And for them to pay you what you're worth when we're talking about social media, have a good looking bio with you, have a lot of high quality work on your timeline, a lot of reviews and testimonials that they can just freely access and see what you're capable of. At the start, it's gonna be pretty difficult to charge any amount of money upfront because you just don't look legit yet. But the more of those things that you acquire, the more you have leverage to ask for that sort of thing. They trust you more, they're more comfortable, you look more legit for the part. Another key part of that is trying to be as irreplaceable as possible when you're approaching people, trying to have some moat around you that other people can't have easily. I mean, that's part of why I've been uploading on this channel fairly consistently for a few months now. It's pretty good sign when a video editor has a channel of their own where they put their own edited videos on it. Plus, it doesn't hurt to have an extra marketing and lead generation channel to build up my personal brand. But the more of those little moats and irreplaceable aspects that you can have about yourself, the better off you will be. Having a lot of vouchers from big names, just having a lot of high quality work, as we said, a high follower count perhaps. The higher of a price you can charge, the more clients you will have, and just generally the easier time that you will have when you're trying to build up revenue for your business. So now you have theoretical knowledge. What about practical applications? Well, that's exactly what I have this video for. Check out my free stuff and the affiliate links in the description, and with that, bye. Don't forget to sub.